What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I've been meaning to do a video update for a while now. We've had so much fun on these bikes. They've been an absolute blast. We've been taking them everywhere. We've been up mountains.
How deep is it? Too deep!
To alpine lakes. It's gorgeous though. On trails all over the place. We rode up to a ghost town one time.
You can fit easy.
Let's walk just a little
Dude,
bit.
that is so cool.
This is why you mini bike, guys. Isn't that cool?
That's dope.
Look
It's
at
for
that.
sure haunted. For sure something's
Just, like,
gonna come
look
eat
at it,
you.
though. They're like literally just...
We have just been having the most fun with these little bikes. They're an absolute blast to ride. I always say it's impossible to ride these things without a smile on your face. I've done a few updates to this red and black bike, so I want to go over those today and then maybe compare those to the video that I made last time. I did a video a few months ago about the 2 bike builds that I've done and all the modifications that I put on there. I'll link that in the video here and down in the description, but here's a quick refresher of all the work that I've done so far. I replaced the handlebar grips to these much more comfortable ones. I put the saddlebag on here that has a cell phone holder, 2 pockets on each side that has room for tools, registration papers, all that kind of stuff. I put this rear rack on here so we can haul stuff. I've been using this milk crate because we've been throwing waders and bags and stuff to go fishing up in different spots. I put this waterproof canister down here that I keep an extra 3/4 liter of fuel in there so I never have to worry about running out when we're going into the backcountry. I swapped the tires out to these with a bigger tread, which has honestly made a ton of difference out on the trail. I put the torque converter on here, or the CVT, continuously variable transmission. If I had a brand new bike and I was looking for one thing to improve the performance, I would start with this, honestly. This was an absolute game changer for the bike. This gives the bike a lot more torque and power, which really improves the ability to climb out on the trails. With the torque converter, I did also put this riser plate on there. This moved the engine up and forward, so I didn't have to cut this crossbar. I did also replace the cast iron flywheel to the aluminum billet flywheel, just so I don't have to worry about that thing coming apart. I put the 224 motor on this one. Love this motor. This thing is a beast. Highly recommend the Predator 224. And then I did the exhaust with the silencer tip. I like this one. It's made specifically for the BT200X so that it wraps around, stays underneath your legs. You don't have to worry about burning yourself. Then I swapped out the foot pegs for these that have a much better grip. They're wider. They're much more comfortable to stand up and ride on. So those are all the old modifications. I did the exact same thing to the orange bike. The only difference is with this bike, I put the tires and the 224 motor on there. If you want to check any of these items out, I'll put the links all down in the description. I also now have an Amazon storefront. I'll put that link down in the description as well. If you click that link, it'll take you to my Amazon page where I have the different categories of recommended products, and there's a whole mini bike section on there. Now for the 2 new additions to the bike. After my last video, a lot of you recommended that I swap the sprocket out for a 62 sprocket. So I did that to try it out, and it has made, honestly, a world of difference for the bike. There's a lot more torque. The acceleration is a lot smoother. I feel like maybe there's a little bit more top end speed. I haven't done a speed test with this yet, so we're going to try that today as soon as I get done. But I highly recommend doing the 62 sprocket if you have the torque converter on your bike. As soon as you get on the throttle now, this thing wheelies almost instantly. Exhibit A. So it's made it a ton more fun, and it's honestly climbs now like a true tote goat. We've had this into some rough areas, and this thing climbs like a beast. It gets out of everything. The other big change that I made was this Nibbi racing carb. Shout out to my friend Brady. I was having some problems with my old carburetor, and he said that he had this Nibbi carb that I should try out. So I went over to his place and we set this up, and it is awesome. I love these racing carbs that has a throttle line that goes right into the carburetor. It is instant acceleration. It's much more smooth. I got rid of a lot of the junk and extra components that sat on top of the motor. It looks much cleaner now. It's really easy to adjust the idle with that knob right there. Air intake and everything is right there, compact. It's angled back, doesn't stick out as much as the other one that I had on there. It is overall a much nicer carburetor than even those non-EPA ones that you can swap the jets out and stuff. My friend has the Nibbi Carb on his, and it's great, it's awesome, but I've been really impressed with this Nibbi Carb. I think this works great, and it's been a really nice addition to the bike. The BT200X is still my favorite mini bike model. The bigger tubes of this one gives a much more stable ride. If you're going to put a bigger motor on anything, I think this is the frame to do it on. It sits up a little bit higher. It's very sturdy. I think this is the frame if you're an adult and want to take one of these things out mini biking or riding out on the trails. I think for most people this is a great bike. What Coleman's doing with the new B200 is very cool. I honestly haven't ridden that one yet, but I'm excited to try it out. Has the hydraulic disc brakes on the front and the back on that one, and it comes stock with a torque converter, or the CVT, continuously variable transmission. So they advertise that one as 34 miles per hour out of the box, and it has the rack on the back already. So if you're someone that's looking to get a bike that's probably trail ready without having to do a bunch of modifications, that might be a good one to check out. It does sit a little bit lower than this one. But if you're someone like me that has as much fun modifying and playing in the garage with these as you do out on the trails, then I think the BT200X is the bike if you're going to customize and play around with it. Well, let's get this thing fired up. Let's take it out on the road for a speed test. I'm going to try to do it at the same spot as last time. They're harvesting potatoes, and so the road might be a little bit rough right there, but we'll see what we can find.
Run number one.
Well, our top speed was 45.7, which is I think right where we were at last time, that 45, 46 range. As I said in the last video, the focus of this build wasn't to get the maximum top speed. It's kind of a fun metric and a fun test to take these out and run this down the road. But the idea was to get the maximum amount of torque and power so that I could get up to speed faster and be able to get out and maneuver on the trails, which is honestly where these things really shine. They're a ton of fun. I've had an absolute blast on them. People give me a little bit of crap sometimes for these bikes, but as soon as I get them out on a ride, they have so much fun. They're excited, they're happy. They honestly are looking for a bike before we even get home. So it's a fun thing, man. We're just having fun. We're trying not to take ourselves too seriously. It's fun to tinker and play with them, and it's fun to take them out and ride. This summer specifically, we've had a ton of fun with them, getting up onto the trails and taking them out fishing. That's what I had in mind when I built these. My vision was exactly what they are now, to be able to ride out on the trails and get into some rougher areas and have fun getting there. So I highly recommend the BT200X. If you want to do some modifications and have some fun with it, just go for it. That's honestly mini biking. Things are going to break. It's not going to go exactly the way that you had planned, and you figure it out. So just have fun with it, man. If you want to check out any of the links for everything that we talked about today, those will be down in the description. Really appreciate you guys' support on the channel. It's really just mind-blowing to me, this little community that we're forming here just through this online stuff that we've been doing. So really appreciate you guys. If you had fun at all, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll definitely be back with more mini bike content. So we'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks, everyone. We're going to take these out for a ride now. See y'all next time. So I keep an extra 3/4 liter of fuel on here. Hey, Teddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, you monkey. Go with them. Go. Go. Go, Teddy, go.